Ilio guys, and welcome back to yet another account review. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Blaze Mist's account. Even though his name is SoulZ7, I don't make any questions about people's in-game names. But quick shout out to him because he always catches like some of the minor details that I may have, fat fingered or put in wrong on the MSL bot, which by the way, if you haven't joined the Discord, what are you waiting for? Like, the link is in the description below, and feel free to subscribe after this video if you did enjoy it. If you're interested in your own account review, you have to join the Discord and message me up there. But yeah, you guys, let's go ahead and let's see what he's working with. Alright, so for Blaze in particular, there's a couple things he wanted me to look at, which I believe was Golems B11, and then also his PvP action right here. So I'm curious. We're here already though, I'm curious. He's working on some hero dungeons. Actually, he hasn't done any at all. He's done a couple. Like, he's done freaking Hades, but no Shinobi or Enkidu, no Zubaji, no Xiao Jing or Shiva. He's working on Gilgamesh though. I mean, he's doing better than some people, but let's go over here to the Asherman League first and see what he's working with there, and then we'll go to Golems, and then I'll be nosy after that, and the video is over. But let's take a look at his defense team. So he's working on a completely dark composition, which I don't get the Snow White being there or the Dark Wild thing. I feel like that's very, very risky, I would say, because I mean, you have a mono composition, but I'm picturing what I would do if I was fighting this defense, and if I walked up in there and I saw all of this. I know I can't one-shot Balrona, even though she's Evo 2. There's a potential I could, but I know for sure this girl is going to die, and I know for sure she's going to die, leaving Mona to come out as a hidden and then immediately die. So what you could do in this case, let's see if you have anything else that's like super duper tanky. Could recommend switching it up, even though you don't have a lot of level 60s, which we can see already. But do you have any other dark mons that you could put up in here? There's another dark wild thing. I mean, honestly, you could potentially have a better response to this type of tactic if you end up switching out maybe Snow White with C-Star instead, because C-Star can hit fairly well even though she is a defense aggressor, and she can also be tanky. So I would suggest something like that instead of just going like two of your mons are purely glass and the other two I'm hoping are tanky, and then you have Mona coming out. You can have Mona coming out at this point in time. I mean, I'm not judging, but it doesn't seem to be much else that you can work with. But maybe that would be a little bit better for your composition right now than having Snow White there once C-Star is built up. I mean, what you're working with right now at the moment, work with what you got here, but that could be a better route for you to go with. In terms of your defense with other teams though, you have a light C-Star. I wouldn't bring her in there either. I'm trying to see if you could do like a mix of different mons, but I don't really see that many defensive mons at the moment. I mean, you have Purse, but she's not even Evo 3. I didn't see a Water Scheherazade, only that wood one. I mean, Bao's fine. What is Dark Bass's skills anyways? Morale boost and shield. So she's a shielder. Balrona, if I recall, is a healer. Well, she heals because she has a whole bunch of HP. So, yeah. It'd be kind of hard to build around like a mono composition. I mean, you could even slide in Dark Miho instead and keep like maybe Dark Wild Fang as hidden. That way all of your mons are kind of tanky, but it's really up to you what you would want to do, because something like this nature, depending on your gems, could be better for you or worse, depending on how things go, if I can find them. Something like this where you have her doing the shield, you have her healing, you have her tanky AF, you have her tanky AF, and then you have like either your Snow White or your Wild Thing, depending on their gem quality, as the hit and hopefully nuke someone in that scenario. I mean, other than that, I'm really kind of drawing short here because there's not much else that we could work with, unfortunately, at this point in time, and it may be your best choice at the moment until you end up pulling something better. Because I'm trying to think of a way that you could also put in Purse. I mean, I guess you could also put in Purse over here and have like 2 mons that can heal, but it's really up to you at this point in time. Alright, and let's see what you're working with in terms of your attack squad. So pretty much the same thing right here. You have Balrona and your lovely Bast here as shield and healing, and then you have Snow White and also Mona as nuking. Why no Wild Fang though? Like, I understand what you're doing here, but why no Wild Fang? I would definitely choose Wild Fang depending on her gems over Mona. Not hating on Mona. Mona's still a great mon, but I would definitely choose her over that, my dude. Like, what is going on here? I mean, we saw from your defense team that there isn't too much for you to choose from anyway, so I can understand you running once again like a mono composition. If you want to go hard though, I mean, I would suggest something more like this, though I'm not really sure if I'm a big fan of having both of these baby girls out there like that. Like, I would say, what, Bash, her shield is level based? Nope, it's HP based. In this case, you could do one or the other, but I do believe your Balrona has more HP. Actually, I lied. She has more HP than Balrona at the moment. So you could do one or the other, and maybe even slide in your Dark Sea Star here in this scenario, and then once again have someone that's tanky but able to take damage and do damage, which could be a very, very good idea for you. But if it's working for you at this point in time, it's working. This is only advice from just a casual player, so you don't have to take it at all. Alright, and then we're over here at B11, which was one of your biggest things for the video here. It looks like you're running in with a completely dark composition. I'm curious to see how well this is going to perform, because you're having issues. You're running a full dark composition, which isn't something that I have done personally for B11, and I know that there's a lot of light mons. So let's go ahead and just see how it performs out of curiosity's sake. This is all for science. And let me take this all this stuff off. Alright, let's see what happens here. We'll get the damage up. So floor is there for sapping. Then you have both Balrona and Bast as healing, which is probably destroying your clear time, to be honest. Because, I mean, the main thing I'm worried about is if Mona doesn't get enough SP like in this scenario, then there's no wave clearing. Like, you could be moving on to the next wave right now, but instead everyone's getting hit. And you can see this is already a bit slow. Yeah, and only that floor, I mean, sap is a great idea, especially for B11 and B10. Though B10, you could probably get away with just having like pure hard-hitting wave clearers. The bad thing about floor sap is just that she's the only sapper. Like, if you had two sappers, this may be a little bit more optimal for you, because even if some of her saps don't stick, then someone else's should stick. So we'll check to see if you have like a dark pip maybe that you're working on. Hopefully you are. I think I did see a water miho in your box, which could be potentially useful for you at this point in time. But yeah, the biggest issue is I feel like it's just being played too safe right here. Like, you're scared of anyone dying. But it looks like they could definitely clear it out. It's just not very fast at all. How long did this take? 2.5 minutes. And I helped target it to boss too. So I still have recovery gem for you because it's recovery of ruin. So there's some stuff that we can work with. Definitely some stuff that we can work with. Mona, like, she was doing her job. And I understand why you're kind of like running multiple mons, because if you have one dark mon, they may get targeted and then they're going to get smashed up. So let's see what else that we have over here in the box that you could potentially put to use for your squad. There's a Fire Draka, but she is level 50 and Evo 2. No real gems on her. That's hurting, man. That hurts my soul. Dude, you have to have more mons than this. This is literally just impossible. Literally just impossible. Let's check your Wild Fangs. Fully booked up, broken set, crit rate, attack. I know what people were saying in the comments. I know you guys are typing already. They're like a crit rate, attack, fully booked up Dark Wild Fang? What? What? Who does that? Who else is there? Yet another Wild Fang. I was just curious to see what she had on her, if she had anything at all. No, nothing at all here. So very, very slim pickings, but we can make something work. So it looks like you may end up keeping that dark composition. But what I would do more so in this scenario though is, if it's possible, I would probably, I mean, ideally you would want to drop these two and have like another nuker like your Wild Fang or Snow White in some cases. Even though, I mean, they're not technically wave clearers, but you gotta use what you have here. But where's she at? So you would ideally have 2 wave clearers, and then if you had Dark Pip, you could run a composition like this. Now, I do understand the risk behind it because you have 2 Mons that are a bit fragile, but as long as they're not targeted around the first turn, you know, like completely targeted, that should be fine. And then your other 2 Mons, Flora and Pip, they should be fine with survivability, especially Pip because Pip can do its own self-sustain right there. Other than that, I mean, you could mix it up and run something more along the lines of this, where Dark Mona and your basically your Flora is going to get targeted. But as long as Mona and Draka can do their job at the beginning, I don't see much of an issue depending on your gem quality. So that way you have 2 dedicated wave clearers and then you have 2 dedicated sappers. Obviously having Dark Pip in here would probably be more optimal because you could spread the aggression between all 3 of these Astromon versus 2 of them. And I would definitely, even though Draka's Evo 2, I would definitely work towards a future of getting her to Evo 3, even though that may not be something that is on the radar for now, because we just had the Mr. C, or what is it, Sir Nunos, Kurt Nunos, whatever the heck you guys want to call him. We just had his rebirth, so that's just a suggestion. But since we're here, you guys, let's go ahead and take a look at Blaze's Mon box, because he has shown it to the world. Alright, so let's see what we're working with right here. There's Fire Draka. Oh, wait. Level 60 Fire Miho, bro. Oh, no. Water Acer, Water Hades, Water Indra. So it looks like you can work towards a Fire Titans team in the future, if you want. There's a Merlin, Garuda, 2 Shaherazads, a Hana, Minicat. You also have some potential to hit Water Titan as well. Looks like you're getting a stock of Hanas going. Baby Shark. Not many light mons at all, but you do have 2 dark wild fangs and mainly just the light mons. Anything else in storage though? Jormungandr. You do have Purse, which we talked about before. You have another Fire Draka. Shinobi. So you're capable of doing some Titans if you were ever interested in that in the future for sure. Another Dark Mona. See? Going over here and visiting what you have in your box really opened things up, because now we can kind of mitigate or change the Golems B11 team that I was thinking up for you. So once again, if you can get your Dragas up in the future, it doesn't have to be right now. You can keep both the fires if you want. Obviously just Evo 3 them in the future. What you could do instead is run Dark Flora. You could run Fire Purse in there, so you have your 2 sappers. And then you could get risky and run in there with your 2 Dark Monas as wave clearers. That way you do have 3 Dark Mons still, but you have 2 really good sappers. And as long as your gem quality is good to go, I don't see much of an issue with the Dark Monas, as long as they're not destroyed in the first wave. Now this may not be like 100% stable, but you know, we're working with what you have here. I think having a Fire Draka at Evo 3 would make things a lot more stable, but it also kind of keeps you out of having to maybe farm out a Dark Pip if you don't want one. Though I do recommend try to get one, especially if you want to do B15 in the future. Though Purse isn't a bad choice either. I mean, she's not a bad choice. It just really depends on your composition. But the main thing holding you back though is your wave clearers. Evo 2 Draka's not going to cut it. Your Dark Mona alone by herself isn't going to cut it either. And I mean, if Wild Fang was gemmed up, you could try testing it with her instead. But at this point in time, she's looking a little bit sus. Dark Mona's over here on a broken set. Crit rate, attack, attack. So if you can get her on a full set, that should help boost her damage. Enhancements, attack, crit rate. Her enhancements are fine. No super evolution yet, but that's something you could work towards in the future, because she gets a nice chunk of damage from her super evolution. Same thing with Wild Fang. And hopefully by the time that you have that done, you'll be able to get Draka up there as well, depending on how much gems that you have. But it looks like your count is fairly capable. Yeah, I would say at this point in time, it looks like your count is fairly capable of doing the things that it needs to do at this point in time. If your B11 times are around 2.5 minutes, I would say honestly perhaps just drop down back to B10 right now, unless you just hit the game and let it run. Because if you're trying to get gems quickly or get decent gems quickly, B10 may result in a better situation for you, not because it has a lower gem rate, but just because you could do more runs, potentially getting more gems until you can get your mons up to par for B11. But I mean, B11 is definitely in your future. It's just getting past that sub 2 time is going to take a little bit of more work, and it's not unreasonable for you not to be doing B11 right now at level 45, because this is probably the time, at least back in the old MSO days before trinkets and enhancements, where we were just breaking into B10. Like B10 was like the ceiling, and there's a lot of people that are just getting their B10 teams together. So I definitely hope this video helped, Blaze. If you have any comments or questions, of course you're going to ask them in the Discord. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, if you want your own account review done, you have to join the Discord and message me up there. And yep, that's pretty much it. See ya.